Why I don't invest in international stocks or bonds. It's actually quite simple. I'm going to read you this from Seeking Alpha. China wipeout. China. From yesterday. China wipeout. Sweeping crackdowns across China are continuing to send shockwaves across financial markets, with investors finding themselves on the firing line of some of the nation's hottest sectors. Shares of something, Tencent fell 10% on Monday after Beijing ordered the company to give up exclusive music licensing rights. Food delivery companies were also targeted, while education stocks slumped around 25% as a ban for for-profit tutoring. In fact, the NASDAQ Golden Dragon China Index, which tracks 98 of the China's largest firms listed, dropped 8.5%, another 7% on Monday, right? Even when you think China risk is priced, it can get worse, says Goldman Sachs. The government could come down much harder than expected. Penalties were 10 cents. They could implement much stricter social insurance programs. They could crack down on other industries viewed as a threat to social cohesion. While Beijing is tolerating live streaming, while Beijing has tolerated conventional regulations on certain sectors in the past, the government now looks ready to kill whole companies or entire industries. One doesn't have to look far to see the recent pulling of Ant Group's or IPO or DD Global fiasco that shook the investing world earlier this month. China has pointed to financial risk, antitrust concerns, and national security violations, but its acceptance of stockholder pain for long-term social control appears to have some market participants reassessing. All right. Investors aren't the only one reviewing their relationship with China. Another one is between Washington and Beijing. I don't even care about that. So, I mean, I care about it, but it doesn't matter. You got Beijing Joe in office, it doesn't matter. But all right, here's why. But Josh, that's just China. It's not just China, man. Have you not? The only country that has stood above the U.S., which is saying a lot, my friends, in this lockdown crap, is Sweden. That's it. Everything else has been a clusterfuck of immense, insane proportions. They put a lady in jail in Ireland for not wearing her mask. In jail, not just for 24 hours, for 3 months. Might even be 6 months, I can't remember. They're mandating vaccines in France. You think these people care about your private property rights if they don't even care about your personal rights? Hell no. Not touch any of these foreign countries. No way, no how. It's not going to happen. None have performed better than the United States, and only one other was Sweden. That's it. Everything else has been just insanely just gruesome, evil. And if they can do this on your personal liberty, what do you think they can do on your shareholders of various big companies that you invest in? It's not. Stop it. Now, look, as USA, I keep wanting to say USAA because I said that for so many years when I worked there. Has USA been a beacon of hope for freedom? No. Trump was president. I will keep going back to that. Even with Trump president, no. With Sniffy Joe and Chinese Kamala, no. But at the end of the day, you can leave your crappy state of California or New York or Connecticut and come down here to the South. You can go to Texas, you can go to South Dakota, you can go to Wyoming. I know Wyoming hasn't been a huge shining light, but a hell of a lot better than freaking Massachusetts. And you have different, because we're a union of states in some regard. It'll never look. At the end of the day, the federal government always reigns supreme. States gave up their federalism, their sovereignty for the money of the federal government for roads and driving, the speed limit laws and drinking laws and stuff like that. Medicaid, whatnot. But be that as it may, local legislation still reigns supreme for your personal, private property and your personal rights. That's just a fact. So U.S. still respects property rights for the most regard. I mean, is it perfect? No. It should be much, much better. Oh boy. But relatively speaking to everybody else, we are still the best game in town. The only game in town, in my opinion. All these other places, clown central. I'll never invest internationally. But Josh, the international markets have been underperforming. Man, I don't even care, dude. I don't even care. There's a company a long time ago. Let's take a hold on a sec. S&P, China Petroleum and Chemical Corporation. And I remember reading this about 20 years ago or something like that. And some guy in the Wall Street Journal saying, China, as more and more people get out of poverty and go into middle class, they're going to need more electricity. They're going to need more, all the various things that these petro companies do. And anyway, and I haven't, this first time looked at it probably 15 years where the stock is done. So let's go to max. Here it was at 1104 in January of '01, and here it is at 46 right now. Had a nice run there to '07 to '84, but so we're tracking that. Obviously you got dividends too. I think the dividend yield. Look at that PE ratio 5. Yeah, got a dividend yield of 10.23. Now, look, man. At the end of the day, that's a risk. All value stocks have risks. All value stocks. 74 billion market cap, not a huge market cap. I mean, it's big, but not huge. Uh, uh, PE ratio 5, dividend at 10.23%. Would that be something you want to take a guess on? I wouldn't. Bearish pattern detected it. I mean, I don't know. Undervalued. Um, World's largest disinfectant. Remember, when you invest, one big. Let's see. Where is the profile right there? And this is trading on the New York Stock Exchange, not even as an ADR. Isn't that interesting? And there it is in Beijing. So, and here's the CEO. He doesn't say how much he gets paid. $156,000 a year. That's a president, executive director. Isn't that crazy? And doesn't say this other things too. So we have no idea what these other things are. So there's some good accounting there. How much? I mean, how could? Look at this. We got no idea how much Miss Donahue Shue makes, or I mean, look at that. No idea how much these guys make. None whatsoever. And the point being is, if you don't know how much they make or anything, what are they disclosing to you? You're going to invest in that just because you're like, yeah, man. Look at all that. Look, we got a kid running. Cleaner energy, better life. Look at all this stuff. It says, Sniffy Joe, we love you. That's what it says right there. Anyway, I'm not touching a 10-foot pole. I don't care if it's international, be it China, international, be it France, international, be in Russia. Don't care. Not touching it. Certainly not touching Latin America. Certainly not touching China. And I'm not touching Europe. Europe's a pile of doo-doo. I will see you.